Hello everyone. I did color in some of my stamped images, and I thought that I'd spend a little bit of time in my signatures, cut these out, and glue a few things in. So I really like this face. He's nice and gold now. He's all shimmery, and you know how I like the shimmers. So I am going to take him. I'm just going to cut them all out first. He's a nice little circle. Let me take one of these butterflies. See if I can do a quick fussy cut. When I fussy cut, I really do move the paper more than the scissors. It helps go faster. It makes it more accurate, going into the deep ditches and that kind of thing. So I do kind of show that in Collage Basics series, Fussy Cutting and Options. So I probably should do another quick video on fussy cutting for art journaling too, huh? Maybe I should just include that now. Fussy cutting is fast and easy when you move the paper instead of the scissors. So you guide the scissors with the paper, not necessarily trying to cut around your image. You just move the paper and you get into the little crevices a little bit easier that way. If you do have a really deep crevice, you can go into it one way and then go into it the opposite way and kind of pull the paper out. That'll give you nice V cuts around your images. Takes a little bit of practice, not too much, but just a little to get it to work for you. Here's another really deep one, so I'm just going to go into the other side and go in a V shape and then pull that little piece of paper out, and that way I got the autofocus off so I can't show you, but I've got his mouth cut out now instead of having to really mess around with it. All right, so I like this nest, and I don't want the lines to be really straight, so I'm just going to wiggle the paper as I cut, so that kind of makes it look like it's more fussy cut than it really is. So it's got some shape to it without too much trouble, like that. And I think I'm going to fussy tear around that teapot. And the reason I'm going to do that is I think I'm going to use some acrylic paint over the top of the edges to blend them in. And I am going to tear out this hummingbird, the same reasons. A torn edge is easier to blend in, and I don't necessarily need those. There's a side for another image. Here's a color book page that I did color, and let me go ahead and see if I can fussy cut him out. quickly. That's all I wanted to do, is add some more images. Art journals are a lot more fun if you've got images, if they're not entirely abstract, all kinds of backgrounds and such. So I like to add quite a few focal points and kind of layer them up a little bit to give interest to the page. And that is pretty fussy here around all this wing. But I've started it now, and it would look funny if I didn't continue. And I have to go back to the other side here. Let me just cut this off so I'm not dealing with a great big huge piece of paper. Number one. And then try to get around his tail feathers. Not doing the best job in fussy cutting, but you really won't be able to see all of that detail. Know that I cut a little bit off or not cut quite enough off in other areas. You're going to have quite a bit of stuff going on. If it really bothers you, if it really is noticeable to you, you can cover it up with a little bit of paint or with another piece of collage, maybe some book text or something, or a little image, or, there's all kinds of options. This beak is very pointy. All right, and now I've got to come in this other wing, get that bit of paper out of there. Since I'm cutting, I had some more images that I wanted to put in. I thought I'd just glue those things in. And a book page picture. I'm going to kind of just give him some shape. I'm not necessarily going to fussy cut him out extremely well. I guess I better get the monkey too. I'm leaving quite a bit of the background, but it'll work out. It will work out. So I've got my gluing magazine here, and I've got my signatures. Let me pull those to the side and just randomly glue some of this stuff in. All right. So I've come across this page, and I want something to go with that eye, but I think I want something behind. Before I go there, I can glue that into there. And again, I'm using very inexpensive glue for this book. I don't expect this book to be a masterpiece. I don't think that it's going to be I don't want to worry about the cost of any of my supplies, that I'm wasting money by just using, whatever. This little, it's not big enough. There's some words and stuff here that I'm not real pleased with. Maybe I can glue that on top, and that would be big enough to hide all that stuff that I really don't want to look at. And it's a nice complementary color. So we'll just put him right there. I'm going to put him here, so I'm going to add some paint to this page, I think. This page is a little bare of details. So if I glue that perfect stamped image right there on the white, the torn edges, then I can add paint. Let's see, get another signature. I don't know if I like the yellow with that. Put the yellow, tear it in half and put a little bit on both sides of the page. Blend it in a little bit. There is a trick when gluing stuff in as well to get it to stick well, is to use a cotton cloth of some sort, maybe a washcloth. This is a piece of t-shirt. And to burnish the image that you are gluing on down really well. That makes sure that the papers are connecting and the glue is sticking them together, that there's no air bubbles in between. You will have a better chance of the cheaper, inexpensive glues lasting a little bit longer if you really make sure that they're on there well. So you don't necessarily want this to fall apart. You know, I'm going to put him there. Turning my page because I've got a lot of glue on that page and I don't want glue on the front of my image. So I make sure that I've got a lot of glue on the edges of my images, because the edges of your images are what separates from the background first. And if you've got an image that's not quite glued around the edge, it'll start coming off. I've got to add some more color to that one. That is a bright and cheery page, and I think I'm going to add this hummingbird to this page because I like the colors together. Sure, he's kind of upright. And again, I try to burnish down all the images so that they're well glued down. I don't have to worry about it. Uh-oh, there's some blank pages in that one. Let's see, let's find some places for maybe you could put the fish looking at the elephant. Make sure I've got plenty of glue. There's no air bubbles under, and he is well put on the page. I might have to outline him in some Stabilo or something. I don't like the white on the off-color picture there. I'm just going to put the nest right there. I like the colors together. Really no reason. I don't like these other. Oh, there's a nice place for a blue butterfly. Put it right there. Just like that. And find a place for this teapot. How about right here? We can add some more paint to blend in the edges. Some doodles or something. Okay, so there is some more images added. And I think my next step is maybe some stenciling. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Thanks for watching.